So I just got back from a fucking concert, right? And so today, Thunderf00t has left the Skeptic Community. Well, first we gotta break down what is the Skeptic Community. Well, the Skeptic Community TM, or Skeptic Community TM, or whatever the fuck the joke is usually people who are either social justice warriors or asinine and fucking pompous and pretentious centrists who have no stake in the conversation whatsoever, fucking condemn the Skeptic Community, which is everybody who's atheist and anti-social justice warrior. Okay, so never mind if you're a conservative, never mind if you're a libertarian, never mind if you're authoritarian, never mind if you're a liberal, never mind if you're a fucking Christian conservative, you're the Skeptic Community, and you fit into this little bubble that the enemies of us, who are either arrogant partisan hacks, arrogant fake centrists who don't know what they're talking about, or social justice warriors themselves, have branded us all that. So it's a running joke at this point, and nobody gives a shit except for enemies of the people who've been branded with the Skeptic Community TM, you know. So anyway, where were we? Okay, so Thunderf00t has left the Skeptic Community. Well, first of all, he hasn't made an anti-feminist video in over a year. Well, what's the last one you made? Like his video against the laughing witch who tried to get him fired. Okay. How long's it been since he's made an anti-creationist video? Even longer. So you left the Skeptic Community at least a year ago. Okay. Not that that means anything. But why did he officially leave the Skeptic Community? Well, he watched a hangout that Sargon, Crowton T, V, it's officially V's hangout, among a couple other guys made, where they commented on an event that happened, where somebody called the Skeptic Feminist, who is a feminist who was known for threatening Bering, Bering made fun of him about a year ago, but apparently took some psychotropic drugs, I think it was psychedelic mushrooms, had a paranoid delusion, and murdered his girlfriend, shot her to death. So Sargon et al., V and Kraut, all them, made some gallows humor about the incident, joking about how ironic it is that a diehard feminist would murder a woman and shit, among a lot of other things on this hangout, right? Well, so Thunderf00t doctors the footage, and Sargon has proven that Thunderf00t doctored the footage, and put it some together, clips that were comments made minutes or hours apart during this hangout, where they joked about the murderer. And then Thunderf00t said, I am leaving the community because these classless tools joked about the victim of a murder. Okay. So, Thunderf00t doctored footage that demonstrated that the Skeptic Community made fun of the Skeptic Feminist, the murderer, and then claimed, I'm leaving the community because they made fun of the victim. In case you didn't grasp what I just said to you, Thunderf00t erected a straw man, a lie, and then lied about his lie in front of everybody, and then proceeded to condemn the Skeptic Community for a lie about a lie. You see why I fucking can't stand Thunderf00t? You know, he used to be a great anti-feminist guy. He used to be an great anti-creationist guy before that. I subscribed to Thunderf00t in 2007. Okay? That's 10 years ago. He's one of the very first guys I subscribed to. TJ Kirk and Thunderf00t were like my first two subs, and I don't really care for either of them right now. But Thunderf00t is a proven liar. He's a partisan hack. He will not tell the truth. Deliberately. It's proven that he's not incompetent. He's a liar. Okay, there's a difference between being incompetent and stupid and being a deliberate fuck liar. And Thunderfoot was proven to have tripled down on lying about Lauren Southern, and then here he is lying about Kraut v. Sargon and the other people on the Hangout. And I don't even need to watch the Hangout, okay? I haven't even watched 100% of Sargon's refutation before I made this video. You know, I haven't been home long, I'm very tired, okay? But I know from this morning, watching Thunderfoot's video, or excuse me, this afternoon, that I knew that Thunderfoot was lying about the footage he showed. And then it was proved that he doctored the footage. That's how fucking retarded he is. That is how partisan he is. That is how much he will lie. And, you know, my guess is that Thunderfoot is so mad about Brexit, out of self-interest, because Brexit, one of the negatives of Brexit, which I am pro-Brexit, is that it probably hurts science funding for UK-based scientists. Okay, whatever. I could have sworn Thunderfoot was in Czechoslovakia, but I don't fucking know though. The whole however the fuck research funding affects him. But I can understand that. It's personal interest, and that's science interest, and that's fine. But since his arguments about Brexit, Thunderfoot has been a malicious, deceitful, deliberate liar about pro-Brexit people. And Kraut's pro-Brexit, V's pro-Brexit, Sargon's pro-Brexit. I think it's pretty strong circumstantial evidence. But let's talk real quick about the skeptic feminist. Okay, so they joked about the skeptic feminist. Because, you know, he's a guy who's a crusader for women, he's a white knight, he's a cuck, and then he goes and murders his own girlfriend, a woman. You know, but arguably, and everybody in the hangout that Sargon was in, and it was V's hangout, mentioned that it was very clear that the skeptic feminist was out of his mind. He was in a psychotic episode. Okay, here's the thing. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of armchair psychology for you people, and take it for what you will. My estimation for what little I've seen of the skeptic feminist is that he's a psychopath. And I don't mean a colloquial psychopath like an axe murderer. I mean, he's a guy who struggles to empathize with people. Okay? Now, that doesn't mean he can't empathize with people, but it means when he sees people, he usually doesn't see them as a human being. And he finds it very easy to dehumanize his enemies. So he doesn't view Bering, who he threatened to kill, as a person. Because, he's not a feminist, therefore he's not a person, and doesn't deserve to live. Okay, that's a very serious psychological issue. But they're functioning psychopaths who go through their lives and never harm anybody. Okay, so I don't mean he's an axe murderer. I mean he's a psychopath, which means he has a diminished or non-existent sense of empathy. Now, I also think from that vacant stare in his crazy eyes as he violently threatens people online, that it's possible that he could be a paranoid schizophrenic. And paranoid schizophrenics have negative reactions to psychotropic and psychedelic drugs. That means shrooms, acid, marijuana. Okay, and I guess there's some hearsay that he had a psychotic break because he was doing mushrooms, that he was under the effects of psilocybin, had a paranoid delusion about his girlfriend, and shot her to death. Okay? So you take a guy who I personally believe, with admittedly very little evidence, is a psychopath and a paranoid schizophrenic. Which doesn't mean he can't function, which doesn't mean he's a general threat to society, and I believe probably should be medicated. But one thing that I know from experience is that people who are schizophrenic should not do psychedelic drugs. It makes them violent, it makes them paranoid, and it makes them delusional. It makes them hallucinate. Okay, even if it's just marijuana, which is not actually usually a hallucinogen, although it can have hallucinogenic properties very rarely. Okay, that's actually very common for it to have hallucinogenic properties in schizophrenics. Okay? Now, the reason why I bring this up is because I believe that people who are psychopathic, as in lacking in empathy, okay, people who are sadistic, people who are selfish, people who have narcissistic personality disorders, usually flock to feminism, intersectional feminism, and social justice. Why? Because feminism in all social justice and all that umbrella term is a sexist, racist, bigoted, collectivist ideology that dehumanizes dehumanizes other groups and exaggerates the grievances and righteousness of other groups, and paints an us versus them, a bourgeois versus proletariat scenario. Okay, only it's based on either skin color, genitals, or classic class structure, or any of the above, or all of the above. Okay, and it's always bigoted. It's I'm white, therefore I'm racist. I'm male, therefore I'm sexist. I'm straight, therefore I'm homophobic. I'm cisgendered, therefore I'm transphobic. By law, by fiat, by decree. Who gives a fuck what my actual opinion is? I have been judged. A book by its cover, do you understand? So it doesn't surprise me in the least that this happened, okay? Because it all fits my prognosis of the situation. Monday morning quarterback as it is. And there were some jokes made about that and some comments made about, the irony that a feminist, a white knight for women, would murder a woman, okay, in cold blood, even if it was under the effects of a psychotic break. They joked about it. They didn't make serious political statements. They didn't say, I condemned feminism because this feminist killed a woman. They just joked about the unique event. Thunderf00t said that they condemned feminism because this feminist killed a woman. A male feminist killed a woman. That's not true. And it's not true based on the doctored footage that Thunderf00t himself showed. I don't have to watch the actual hangout. I just have to watch the dishonestly put together excerpts that Thunderf00t showed on his own video to know that Thunderf00t did not correctly or adequately or honestly characterize what he showed. He lied about his own straw man. He strawmanned his own straw man, okay? He's at least 3 degrees away from the truth. Why? Because Thunderf00t's a partisan hack, okay? That he is incapable of telling the truth. He lied 3 times about Lauren Southern in videos, and he's lied about Sargon. He's lied about everybody else in that video, V, Croughton T, and the other guys who, I'm sorry, I don't know their names, included. All of them. He lied about all of them. He mischaracterized them as a community, a skeptic community, whatever. They're a group of friends. He mischaracterized himself as a skeptic community, as the stereotype goes, which he does not fit because he has not made that kind of content in years. I'm talking about Thunderf00t. And then lastly, I just want to talk real quick about Sargon and the comments people made about Sargon, okay? I'm going to tell you the truth, and I'm going to issue a challenge. I have not seen one person who hates Sargon who has told the truth about him. Not one. I've argued with dozens of them, and every single one, to the last man or woman, 100%, has clearly not watched Sargon's content, has not correctly described Sargon's stance on Trump, has not correctly described Sargon's political affiliation. He is not right-wing. He's a liberal. He's not a Trump supporter. He's a fucking liberal. Okay? They've lied about just about everything they've ever said about Sargon, and the reason why that is because they are plagiarizing each other's lies. They're partisan hacks. They're parents. They're Sargon's a right-wing, neo-Nazi, misogynist, squawk. And meanwhile, they have never seen a Sargon video in their life. I'd be surprised if hardly any of them have ever seen a Sargon tweet. And I've only seen like 2 in my life, because I'm not even on Twitter. I don't have to be on Twitter. I don't have to have access to Sargon's entire discography or whatever. I know for a fact that everybody I've ever met, and it's been literally dozens of people who don't like Sargon or hate him, have not correctly characterized him once. They've 100% lied about him 100% of the time without exception, and I am dying to meet a person who would break that perfect streak of fucking lying, partisan, hackery, petty, childish, bullshit lying. Okay? Because the thing about Sargon is, why is Sargon not criticizing Trump? Because we all know that people who hate Sargon hate him because he's defended Trump. He's not defended Trump. That's a lie. Okay? Sargon, since the inception of his channel, has been a media watchdog. He created his channel during the Gamergate controversy to criticize the media for lying about Gamergate. And then he criticized the media for lying about Brexit. And then he criticized the media for lying about the U.S. presidential election. And he criticized the media for lying about feminism and lying about anti-feminism and lying and lying. He's a media watchdog. He criticized the media that lies. And the majority of media lies that he's focused on have been from his own side. Because as a liberal, and a principled liberal like me, he doesn't want to be surrounded by liars. Thunderfoot's a liar, therefore good riddance to you. Leave the Skeptic Community, TM. We don't fucking want you. You're a fucking proven liar. You're a partisan hack, and you don't tell the truth on purpose. You are not to be fucking trusted. Sargon has said some things in defense of Trump, but it's been actually quite little. He's said some things that are denouncements of Trump, and there have actually been pretty little of them. Why? Why has he said little in favor of Trump and little in attacking Trump? Why has Sargon been like that? Because he spent all of his time attacking the enemies of Trump, the media. Why? Because despite the fact that Trump is a buffoon who's a threat to education, a threat to welfare, a threat to science, a threat to foreign policy, he's a piece of shit on every legitimate level. I'm not a Trump supporter, and I have less of a positive opinion towards Trump than I did before he was elected, because he's gone back on almost everything I liked him for. He's a liar, so Trump's a liar. So why has Sargon mostly attacked the enemies of Trump? Because the enemies of Trump can't be bothered to tell the truth about the shit Trump does wrong. They lie. Trump's a homophobe. Trump's the first ambivalent to gay Republican nominee in history. Trump's a transphobe. No, he isn't. Citation needed. Trump's a racist. No, he's not. He's anti-illegal immigration. Illegally immigrating to the country is a crime and a drain on the welfare state. It makes perfect sense to be anti-illegal immigration, which is not anti-immigration, and say that some cunt from Sweden illegally crosses the border and he's a white-haired, blonde, white-skinned, blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy and crosses legally. They lump him in with the Mexican who crossed illegally, okay? It's about the illegalness of it and the drain it is on the taxpayer. Stop lying. You don't have to lie. You don't have to lie. Trump, I liked him because he was clearly not a Christian Taliban guy, and then he went and surrounded himself with the Christian Taliban. That's something I care about as an atheist in the Skeptic Community. How much of that has been... Nope, sexist, racist, MRA, fucking go away, whatever the fuck the chant is garbage. It's garbage. And the same thing that the media says about Trump is the same thing that the partisan hacks like Thunderfoot and his fans have said about Sargon. I've not met one Sargon hater who has told the truth about Sargon, and I would defy one to come on this channel and tell me an honest reason why Sargon is either a liar, an honest evidence of Sargon being a right-wing person, honest evidence of Sargon being an MRA, which he's not. That's an old-school insult that doesn't even fucking fly anymore. Any evidence that Sargon's a Nazi, any evidence that Sargon's a conservative, any evidence that Sargon's not a liberal, because there is none. Any evidence that Sargon's even a Trump supporter. There's not even any evidence of that. To the extent in which Sargon has supported Trump is the extent that Sargon is pro-populist revolt. He believes that political representatives should fucking represent the public, you fucking retards. That makes perfect sense to me. And the only reason why it wouldn't make perfect sense to you is if you're a partisan hack who doesn't care about what's true. If you're a childish, petty, fucking degenerate, cognitively biased liar. So please, I'm begging you, come here. Come comment and tell me I'm wrong. Because you can't. I fucking dare you. You fucking can. Kill yourself. Thanks for watching.